In March 2026, Iranian missiles suddenly stopped missing. US defense systems that had always worked were suddenly failing. Targets that should have been intercepted were hitting. Analysts panicked. Intelligence agencies ran emergency assessments. Military commanders demanded answers. The answer was 5 invisible Chinese weapons. Not missiles, not soldiers. 5 technical capabilities that Beijing quietly transferred to Tehran and that America had no immediate counter to. Here is each one. To hit something accurately, you first have to find it. Iran's problem has always been locating American warships fast enough to target them. China solved that problem from space. China's Jilin-1 satellite constellation, officially commercial Earth observation, now exceeds 100 high-resolution optical and video satellites providing sub-meter imagery of the Gulf. Through this network, Iran has near real-time visibility over US carrier group movements, aircraft deployments across Qatar and Bahrain, and logistics cycles across the region. The United States sanctioned Jilin-1 satellite technology in April 2025 for supplying imagery to Houthi forces. The sanction did not stop the imagery from reaching Iran. China's legal defense is technically accurate. This is commercial data, publicly available to any customer. The practical effect is that Iran has surveillance capability it could never have built itself. Every American carrier group in the Gulf is visible from space. China is the eye. Iran is the fist. Finding a target is one problem. Hitting it precisely is another. For decades, America's answer to the second problem was GPS jamming, disrupting the guidance signals of enemy munitions to make them miss. That capability no longer works against Iran. Iran has transitioned its military guidance systems to China's BeiDou 3 navigation satellite system. BeiDou's encrypted military signals are resistant to Western jamming. America cannot deny access to a system it does not control. The switch explains what intelligence analysts noticed in March 2026. The dramatic improvement in Iranian strike accuracy that triggered emergency assessments across multiple Western intelligence services. Former French Foreign Intelligence Director Alain Hewlett, cited by multiple defense publications, described Iranian strike accuracy in March 2026 as dramatically improved compared to the same weapons fired 8 months earlier. BeiDou offers centimeter-level precision under optimal conditions. The difference between a 50-meter miss and a 5-meter hit is the difference between a close call and a catastrophe for a warship. This weapon has not been fired in the Gulf. It is being aimed at the factory floor in the United States. Rare earth elements are the invisible components of nearly every advanced American weapons system. Every stealth jet, every destroyer, every missile guidance system, every submarine requires thousands of pounds of these minerals to function. China controls 60% of global rare earth mining and over 90% of the processing capacity worldwide. On December 1, 2025, 3 months before Operation Epic Fury, China implemented its strictest rare earth export controls in history, cutting supply to US defense contractors including those supplying Raytheon, the Tomahawk manufacturer. The key material affected, samarium, the mineral that makes Tomahawk guidance fins accurate. A temporary diplomatic workaround involving European companies gave American contractors limited alternative access. Temporary. Current Pentagon stockpiles of rare earth materials cover only a few months of consumption. The domestic infrastructure to replace Chinese supply is years from operational capacity. America is firing missiles at Iran and replacing them with missiles whose components it can no longer reliably source. China has not fired a weapon. It has already weakened the one America is using. The CM-302 is China's export anti-ship missile, a supersonic weapon that travels at Mach 3, flies at sea-skimming altitude to stay below radar, and executes unpredictable serpentine maneuvers in its final approach to defeat intercept systems. Multiple intelligence sources confirmed Iran received and deployed it against US naval assets in the Gulf. The CM-302's value in this conflict extends beyond what it can sink. Every engagement between a CM-302 and an American Aegis defense system is a data collection event. Iran fires. America responds. The intercept, or the failure to intercept, generates precise telemetry about how Aegis tracks and engages supersonic sea-skimming threats. China's engineers are reading every engagement in near real time. The weapon system China most needs to defeat in a Taiwan scenario is the same Aegis system defending the Gulf today. Iran is providing free live-fire testing data for the next generation of Chinese anti-ship missiles. The bill is being paid in American interceptors. Weapon 5 is not a missile. It is a mathematical trap, and it may be the most dangerous one on this list. In the first 4 days of Operation Epic Fury, the United States fired 168 Tomahawk cruise missiles, more than half of the 322 produced in the entire 5-year period. Before this conflict began, America depleted over 50% of 5 years' production in 96 hours. Rebuilding that stockpile takes 4 to 5 years at current production rates, complicated further by China's December 2025 rare earth export restrictions, cutting supply to the very contractor building the replacement missiles. A Heritage Foundation assessment confirmed that the U.S. high-end interceptors across multiple categories would be exhausted within days of sustained high-intensity combat, with aggregate inventories insufficient for even a single full fleet reload. The trap is elegant. China supplied Iran with the satellites to find American targets, the GPS to hit them precisely, the anti-ship missiles to threaten them, the rare earth restrictions to slow their replacement. Every interceptor America fires in the Gulf is one fewer interceptor available when China makes its own move. In the Pacific, on a timeline China chooses, the supply trap is not a coincidence. It is the architecture. 5 weapons, none of them officially military, none of them acknowledged by Beijing, all of them verified by Western analysts, intelligence officials, and multiple independent sources. Satellites that make American warships visible. A navigation system that America cannot jam. Mineral controls that weaken the missiles America is firing. A carrier-killer missile generating live test data for China's engineers. And a mathematical trap that will take years to escape. China has not fired a single weapon in this war. It does not need to. It has equipped the side that is firing. And it is learning from every engagement what it needs to know for the next one. This is the rehearsal. The theater it was designed for is not Iran. It is Taiwan. And every day this war continues, that rehearsal gets more complete. Subscribe. The map is already drawn.